Hello there and welcome to today's video. Now, two things before I start. Firstly, today is May the 4th, so happy Star Wars Day. And second, I didn't upload yesterday because I wanted to include yesterday's video with the video I was going to upload today and turn today's upload into a double feature on this special Star Wars holiday. So I hope you enjoy both videos. I hope you're all having an awesome day. And this first video is on the Kessel mines. Now, the Spice Mines of Kessel, which simply became known as the Dark to the veteran miners, are a series of labour camps located all over the planet Kessel, where slaves from a variety of different species were forced to mine coaxium, as well as a medicinal spice mineral that once mined is then turned into a dangerous drug. Now, the mining itself was extremely dangerous, thus why slaves were used as expendable labour, and the average life expectancy of a slave working the Kessel mines was 2 to 3 years, while Wookiees tended to have an expected survival time of about 3 months. Kessel was owned and ruled by a royal family who tended to turn a blind eye to the harvesting of spice on their world, choosing instead to just live in luxurious sanctuaries in the southern hemisphere of the planet, while the spice mining took place in the northern hemisphere. The spice mining was made possible via the use of deep pits, mine shafts and massive refineries, and it became known as the Galactic Empire's slave camp. But before the Empire came into existence, it was known as the Galactic Republic Prison. Now, there are several reasons as to why the spice mines were so dangerous, one of them being that the mines were filled with dangerous energy spiders that loved to constantly attack any and all miners who tried to mine the precious spice. And if that weren't enough, the mines themselves were also extremely cold, to the point that thermal suits were required if the workers were to survive, and also because the atmosphere was kind of weak. A lot of the essential gases such as oxygen were constantly escaping, and thus oxygen generators were stationed around the planet to help keep the oxygen levels stable. So it's no wonder that working the Spice Mines of Kessel became known as a very effective form of torture. So effective in fact that the Empire used the threat of being sent to work in the mines as a way to make people do what they want. Now, the Empire sentenced many of their prisoners to be used as slave labour by the mines' economic rulers, who were the criminal Pike Syndicate. Now, even though the Pike Syndicate ran the majority of the mines on Kessel, it was the Empire who supplied the Pikes with prisoners to work in Kessel's infamous mines, usually in exchange for coaxium, and this penalty was pretty much a death sentence given the planet's harsh conditions and lax safety standards. The slaves were usually made up of political prisoners, petty criminals, and unfortunates sold into servitude. Few ever survived long enough to be able to live out their sentence and return to their homeworlds. It was also rare for slaves to escape the mines of Kessel, but there are at least 2 instances of this happening. The first was roughly 14 years after the Galactic Republic was transformed into the Galactic Empire. There was a group of Wookiees that was sent to Spice Mine K-76 by Agent Kallus in Star Wars Rebels, but they were rescued shortly after arriving by the Ghost and her crew. And the second was a few years later in 10 BBY when Kira, Tobias Beckett, Lando, Han and Chewie raided the mines in order to steal unrefined coaxium in order to pay off Dryden Voss, and in the process started a riot with some of the slaves escaping during the chaos. Now, a fun fact, undoubtedly many of you already know that the Spice Mines of Kessel were first mentioned in the novelization of Star Wars A New Hope and in the film itself, but we didn't actually get any physical visual representation of Kessel brought into canon until the Star Wars Rebels episode Spark of Rebellion, when they went to Kessel to rescue a group of Wookiees. And then they brought more into canon in the Star Wars Han Solo movie. And that is the Spice Mines of Kessel in a nutshell. So, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you on the next one. I hope you're all having an awesome Star Wars filled day, because I know I will, and may the 4th be with you.